it started snowing again. I was going to say we got about 12 snowflakes, so we'll call it a snow day. But it has started up again. So, like I said, go ahead and find that comfortable seated position. And as always, that position can be whatever that means for you as we get going. So if yours looks a little bit different than mine, as always, that is totally fine. And we'll just take our first couple of moments here, same as we have the last couple of classes, just a couple easy ranges of motion just to get started. And then we'll get right into our little flow so that we have plenty of time to go through it a few times. So, like I said, comfortable seated position, whatever that means. Legs can be crossed, they can be out long, knees can be bent, feet can be planted. If it looks a little bit different than any of those options, wherever you're at is fabulous. Let's take these first couple of moments, as usual, just to kind of come into our center, find your scan of the body, as always, without any judgment. So that scan is just working your way from the top of your head down to the tips of your toes and noticing how you're feeling today, where you're at. This will be especially helpful for those places of tension, those places that are a little bit extra tight, because as we find our stretching ranges of motion, maybe spend a couple extra moments in a stretch that feels particularly good for those spaces, those places of tension that you find in this initial scan of the body. As you take that scan and as you find those points of tension, if there's any initial range of motion that'll feel good for you to get started with today, I want to invite you to take that. So as usual, if it's through the head and the neck, maybe you drop the chin to the chest and roll the head side to side. If it's through the torso, maybe it's a nice lateral stretch. If it's through the lower back, maybe it's a spinal twist. If it's down through the legs, the hamstrings, maybe it's a forward fold. Taking about the next 3 or 4 nice deep breaths for any of those ranges of motion, or maybe just nice and easy in center, kind of bringing your attention to your breath. And go ahead, take 2 more nice deep breaths. Evening out, if you're doing a side to side range of motion, make sure you hit that second direction one final time. We will go through all those ranges that I just mentioned. So if you just chose one, that's okay. We'll hit all of those ones before we get moving. After that second nice deep breath, just go ahead and bring it back on over to centered, a nice easy seated position. We're just going to start from the top as we've been doing. So with the head and the neck, with your next inhale, I want you to go ahead and lengthen out through the top of the spine. And then with that exhale, go ahead and drop the chin to the chest. Now from here, nice and easy, side to side, roll that right ear towards that right shoulder. Maybe it goes up just a little further if that feels good. And then back down through center. So just that half circle, left ear to the left shoulder, same thing. If it feels good to find that extra little bit of range of motion, feel free to do it. And take this especially at your own pace here. So a little slower or faster, depending on how your neck is feeling today, depending on where you're at with this range of motion. Fabulous. Go ahead and take 2 more nice deep breaths here. Maybe once more in each direction, maybe just evening out. When you finish that last big inhale, the next exhale drops the chin back to the chest. And then that next inhale can go ahead and lift that head back up to center. Alrighty. From here, we'll just move it forward. Let's take it right to the shoulders. So let's do a couple of shoulder rolls in each direction. Just bringing the shoulders up towards the ears and then down and back or down to the front, whichever feels right to start with. And we'll switch it about halfway. So just a couple of ranges of motion here. We will go through some planks and some down dogs. So just starting to get them warmed up as we go. Go ahead and take 2 more rolls in this first direction and then switch it up. Same thing, opposite direction. Other way. Couple rolls in that opposite direction. Getting them moving, finding that range of motion. My shoulders are a little crunchy today. They need this range of motion, and that's okay. That's why we're getting warmed up before we get going. 2 more in this direction. And you finish that last one, go ahead and find that next exhale to release the shoulders low away from the ears. From there, when you finish that last one, we'll go right into our lateral stretch. So next big inhale takes those arms out and up. nice and long towards that ceiling. And then go ahead and exhale, bring that right hand down. That left arm comes up over top for that nice big lateral stretch. And then at your own pace with each inhale, coming through center, and each exhale takes you over in that opposite direction. So as always, you can move a little faster or slower than me, taking it at a pace that feels right, taking it at depth that feels right. So maybe just your palm reaches, maybe you get that elbow all the way down, or maybe you're somewhere in between. Any of those options is fabulous. Excellent. One more time in each direction, and just make sure you finish out with that second side. So if you need that third direction just to kind of finish it out, feel free to do so. And then that last inhale brings those arms back to center, and our exhale brings them down and we've just got one more seated stretch here, one more seated range of motion. As always, we can't move on without doing our spinal twist first. So you can take those arms up nice and long if you'd like to each time through center, or you can keep them low. Your inhale either way lengthens through the spine, and your exhale takes you over in that first direction. Opposite side hand comes around to the outside of the leg, same side hand comes around behind, and then just go ahead and move at your own pace here with those inhales, bringing you through center, nice long spine, and exhales over in the opposite direction. Like I said, if it feels good, maybe you bring those arms up nice and long as you come through center and trade sides with that. Or if it feels better, feel free to keep them nice and low and just pass through center with that long spine. Couple times in each direction here, just getting that spine warmed up before we get moving, get going. Fabulous. Go ahead and find two or three more nice deep breaths. Once again, just making sure that you even out. Hit that second side one final time. After that last one, allow that big inhale to bring you back to center. And if you're flowing with those arms, allow that exhale to bring them down and around, releasing the shoulders nice and low away from the ears. All right, so like I said, finish out there if you're finishing your last range of motion. And then we're just gonna get moving. We've got a little flow. We'll incorporate some planks. We'll incorporate some variations thereof, but lots of stretching focus today. So we're gonna meet standing at the top of our mat. I invite you to grab a sip of your beverage if you have one nearby, and then make that transition in whatever way feels best. So maybe you flip it over to hands and knees and walk it in and up, or maybe you have something a little bit different to bring it up off of that mat. So take that moment. We'll meet standing at the top of the mat with a whole ton of space behind us to step out nice and long into our first lunge when we get there. When you get to the top of that mat, finding that mountain pose. So those feet are either right underneath those hips. Maybe if it's a little more comfortable, they're a little bit more narrow or a little bit wider. We won't be using our chair pose today. So if you ever adjust for that chair pose, no need to worry about that. Just find that comfortable mountain pose. We're going to find three nice sweeping deep breaths here from the top of the mat. So using whatever exaggeration, maybe a bend in the knees, maybe a big sweep with those arms. With that next inhale, go ahead and take that first one, bringing it out and up. Maybe you bend the knees and take it around. Stretch nice and long away from center. And then that exhale brings the arms down and around. Same thing twice more, just like that. Nice big sweeping deep breath. And that exhale pulls them down. Last time, same exact thing, all the way up, all the way down. And those arms come down. We're going to take one more deep breath to take the arms up, and then this time we're going to bring it into our forward fold. So go ahead and bring the arms out and up. And then in whatever way that feels best for you to get into that forward fold, go ahead and dive it forward. Maybe you keep the spine long, maybe you round it out right away. And as always, be gentle with the backs of those legs. I know that if you're sitting all day, maybe they're a little bit tight. So feel free to start with that nice bend in those knees. We'll take just a moment here because again, I know it's a little tough to go right into this forward fold if you haven't done it yet. But if you'd like to find that opposite elbow with that opposite hand, maybe a nice easy side to side. Maybe you are feeling a little bit of a head rush. So maybe you find a halfway lift, that flat back, and then exhale back into it. Wherever you're at, we've got two more nice deep breaths in this forward fold or your version thereof. Fabulous. After that second deep breath, go ahead and bring it right back to center, just with those fingertips down towards the toes. And then we're going to find two halfway lifts. Our inhale finds that flat back, that long spine, and our exhale folds it forward. Same exact thing, just like that. Inhale takes us halfway up. Maybe you've got that bend in those knees still. Exhale, folds it forward. Fabulous. Let's take it into our first big stretch of the day. We're going to step that right leg back nice and long into our lunge position so the heel stays up off the ground. Maybe you don't quite have the range to bring those fingertips down with that knee up. That's okay. We are going to bring that knee right on down. So go ahead and bend those knees, plant that right leg down onto that mat, top of the right foot meets the mat, and then find whatever depth in this position you can. So maybe the fingertips come down towards the mat. Maybe you use the knee for a little bit of support. Maybe you bring the hands inside so you have a little bit more range of motion here. Wherever you are is totally fabulous. We're just looking to find that nice stretch through that right hip flexor. So that nice long right leg here. Let's find a spinal twist. So go ahead and take that right hand down to the mat, open up through that left arm, stack those shoulders on top of each other, nice and long here. And then that next exhale brings that hand back down, find that comfortable position once again. Let's take it into our hamstring stretch. So with your next exhale, bring those hips towards that back heel, bend that right knee, lengthen the left leg, lift the left toes. Now this one, you've got a couple ranges here. You can find your balance, be up a little taller. You can hinge forward at those hips, keeping that front leg a little longer. You can reach out towards those toes. This one, you should find that tension through the back of that long left leg. Let's find each of those one more time. Exhale presses us forward into that lunge. We've got our spinal twist, right hand down, left arm opens up. Exhale brings that left hand back down, and we're going to sit back into that hamstring stretch. So press those hips backwards, lift those left toes, hinge forward at those hips, find that nice stretch. Fabulous. Go ahead and press it back forward, just into that nice, easy, low lunge. From here, we're going to just find a nice tall torso. So inhale, sweep the arms up, nice and long, find that strong core. Fabulous. That exhale is going to bring those hands back down. We're going to curl that right toe under, lift the right knee, and we're going to step back to our high push-up plank. So use whatever transition you need here to get there. Maybe the leg sweeps around, maybe you step it right back. We're in that high push-up plank position. I just want this to be a hold here for 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead, give me that downward facing dog really briefly, hips up and back. Nice stretch for those shoulders, nice stretch for the back of those legs. Maybe it's a pedal out of those heels. Excellent. Let's take this to our child's pose. Set those knees down, maybe a little wide. Sit those hips back towards the heels. Nice. Go ahead, press it forward into our cobra. So maybe the knees come in a little bit as you press those hips forward. Press them down towards the mat. Those arms can be long, or if you need a little less tension on the lower back, the elbows can be bent and you can be down in that nice, easy cobra position, baby cobra. Let's go ahead one more time in each of those. Press those hips back into that child's pose, hips back towards the heels, and then press it back forward into that cobra. Hips down towards the mat, arms can be long, elbows can be bent, wherever you need to be there. Excellent. Let's take it to hands and knees. So press those hips just up towards the ceiling, right over those knees. Adjust those hands just a little bit if you need to. From here, we're going to find 2 breaths in our cat and cow, so twice in each direction. Our inhale presses the belly towards the floor, lifts the hips and maybe the chin. Our exhale rounds the spine up towards the ceiling, tucks the chin in towards the chest and the hips underneath. One more time each direction. Inhale, belly towards the floor in our cow. Exhale, rounds the spine up into our cat. Go ahead, bring that back to that nice neutral spine, even position. Spinal twist. Right arm is going to lift up towards the ceiling with our inhale. Exhale brings us down, threads underneath. Just briefly, don't quite set that shoulder down. One more time each direction. Inhale lifts us up. Exhale sets us down. Let's bring it back to centered. Same thing on that other arm. Set that right hand down. This time that left hand lifts with our inhale. Exhale brings us down and through. One more time, just like that. Inhale lifts. Exhale brings us down. Go ahead and take it right back to that centered, nice, easy position, hands and knees. From here, we're going to step it back one more time into that high push-up plank position. So press those toes under, press those heels backwards. Make sure you have that nice long spine. We're going to do a T in each direction. So I want you to set those heels to that left side, put all your pressure in that left arm, briefly lift the right up towards the ceiling. Our exhale brings us back down, same thing other side. Once again, really briefly, set those heels down in that right direction, transfer the weight onto that right arm, open up through the left, exhale brings it back down to that center. We've got 4 nice, easy and slow mountain climbers. So knee in between those elbows. Here we go for 4, 3, nice, 2, and 1. Let's go ahead into that downward facing dog, hips up and back. Nice stretch here. And then we're going to transfer all the way back into that lunge. So I want you to take that left leg, press it up and back into our 3-legged dog for that stretch. Bend the right knee, and then take that left leg forward. When you set it down, make sure you make that adjustment so that the ankle is underneath the knee. We're going to do a brief stretch into our crescent. Find your balance. Sweep the arms up. Fabulous. From here, we're just going to hinge slightly forward at those hips. We're going to press off of that right leg. It's going to come to meet the left. We're going to be at the top of that mat. So press off of that leg, meet the left. We're at the top of that mat. Fabulous work, you guys. Let's fold it forward. Take those fingertips down towards the toes. 2 halfway lifts. Inhale, flat back on spine. Exhale, fold it forward. Inhale, flat back on spine. Exhale, fold it forward. Excellent. Let's take that left leg back nice and long this time. Bending those knees, stepping it back, heel stays up off of the ground. And then let's set that knee down. Top of the left foot meets the mat. Fabulous. From here, let's find that nice stretch. So pressing those hips forward. And then let's find our spinal twist. Left hand stays down, right arm opens up. Exhale brings that right arm back down to the mat. Let's take it back into that hamstring stretch. Press those hips back towards the heels. Lengthen that right leg. Lift those toes up towards the ceiling. Again, you've got any of those options for that hinge. Fingertips can be down. You can use that knee for a little bit of balance, or you can stretch forward towards those toes. Let's press those hips forward into that lunge one more time in each. Finding that stretch to that left hip flexor. Left hand comes down, right arm opens up, spinal twist. Exhale brings that right hand back down. Let's sit those hips back towards the heels into that hamstring stretch. Excellent. Press it forward into that nice, easy, low lunge. Let's find that nice tall torso one time here. Sweep those arms up. Finding your balance. Excellent. Go ahead, bring it on down. We're going to curl that left toe under. We're going to lift the knee. We're going to step it back into our high plank position. So go ahead and step that right foot back to meet the left. We're here for just a couple of moments. So check out that form. Make sure that the shoulders are right over top of those wrists. Those fingers are nice and wide. Excellent. Press it up and back into that down dog. Nice little stretch through the back of the legs. Child's pose to cobra, twice in each direction. Set those knees down, sit the hips back towards the heels. Press those hips forward into that cobra. Press the hips back into that child's pose. One more time forward into that cobra. And then this time, let's take it to hands and knees. So knees are right underneath those hips. Feel free to adjust those hands if you need to. Let's take it into that cat and cow twice each direction. That inhale presses the belly towards the floor, lifts the hips and maybe the chin. Exhale rounds the spine up towards the ceiling, tucks the chin in towards the chest. One more time each way. Inhale, belly towards the floor, into our cow. Exhale, presses that spine up towards the ceiling, into our cat. Go ahead, bring it back to center. Nice, easy, long spine. We've got those 2 spinal twists in each direction. Right hand lifts up with that inhale. Exhale brings it down and through. Same thing one more time. Inhale lifts us up. Exhale brings us down. And then when you bring it back up, go ahead, bring it right back to centered. Place that right hand down. Same thing with the left, twice on this side. Inhale lifts us up. Exhale brings us down. One more time. Inhale lifts us up. Exhale brings us down. Fabulous. Go ahead, bring it back to centered. Place that left hand down. We're going to take it into that plank position once again. So go ahead and press it back, curl those toes under. We're in that plank position. We've got those two T's, once in each direction. So set those heels down on one side, open up through one arm. We're in that extended side plank very briefly. Next exhale brings us down through center. Right hand comes down, heels come up and over. Left arm opens up, side plank, second direction. Next exhale brings us down to center. We've got those 4 mountain climbers here, nice and controlled, knee between the elbows. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Press those hips up and back, downward facing dog. From here, we're transferring back to that lunge. So that right foot is going to come up and back, 3-legged dog. Bend the left knee, sweep that right leg forward, plant it down. Use that same side hand to adjust if you need. Ankle is right underneath that knee. Find your balance. Sweep the arms up into our crescent. Excellent. From here, we're going to press off of that left leg. We're going to bring it to our mountain pose. So hinge forward at the hips, bend that left knee, step it forward to meet the right. Fold it forward when you get to the top. Starting it over. Nice inhale, halfway lift, flat back, long spine. Exhale, fold it forward. Same thing one more time, halfway lift. And fold it forward. All right, let's go ahead and step that right foot back nice and long once again. And we'll do that same thing for our first couple of stretches. So set that right knee down, press those hips just slightly forward. We've got our spinal twist first. Right hand stays down, left arm opens up. Exhale brings that hand back down. We're pressing those hips back, hamstring stretch. Hips back towards the heel, lift those front toes. Very briefly here, and then press it forward once again. Same thing, spinal twist. Open up that left arm. Set it on down. Press the hips back towards the heel, hamstring stretch. Go ahead and press it on forward. Nice work, you guys. All right, from here, tall torso. Lift those arms up. We're going to pause here for a moment. If you'd like to increase that challenge, feel free to curl that right toe under, lift that knee, just that little bit of extra work. Excellent. If you have that knee down, feel free to keep it down. We're going to transition to that high plank position. So fold it forward from wherever you are, plant those hands, step the left foot back to meet the right. You can set that knee down even if you had it up. Use the transition that works for you. We're here, and then we're going to press up and back into that down dog in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Hips up and back. Nice stretch. We've got our child's pose to our cobra. So set those knees down nice and wide, hips back towards the heels. Press those hips forward, cobra. Hips back towards the heels. And then hips forward into cobra. From here, let's go ahead and take it to hands and knees. So those knees are right underneath those hips. Adjust those hands if you need to. Now for this one, if you'd like to increase the core challenge, you can take it into a bear twist. So we're curling those toes under and floating those knees about 2 inches up off of that mat. This is really going to increase that challenge. So only do this if you really want that extra challenge. Make the adjustment if you need to. We've got those 2 twists. Open up that right arm with that inhale. That exhale brings it back down. Maybe you have a little less range of motion on this one. That's okay. Inhale takes us up. Exhale takes us down. If those knees are still down, that's also an excellent option. So no need to take this if you don't want to. Place that right hand down. Same thing, left side 2 times. Here we go. Inhale takes us up. Exhale takes us down. Same thing one more time. Inhale takes us up. Exhale takes us down. Go ahead and plant that hand. We're stepping it back into that high plank position one more time. So feet step back, whether you have those knees down or knees up. We've got those side planks here. So go ahead, one time in each direction, open up into that T. One arm comes up. And then exhale to bring us down through center. Other arm comes up. Exhale brings us down through center. 4 mountain climbers, nice and slow and controlled, knee between the elbows. 4, 3, 2, And 1, downward facing dog. Fabulous. Left leg is going to go up and back into our 3-legged dog, and then we're going to take it forward into our lunge. We'll give those wrists a little break, bend the right knee, sweep the left leg forward, adjust if you need to there. Find your balance, sweep the arms up. Excellent. If you'd like to take this one up a notch, we can find a little bit of a balance pose at the top end of this. So rather than pressing that right foot next to the left, we'll press that knee up. So we're still going to hinge forward at those hips. We're going to press off of that right leg. We're going to bring our weight to our left, pull that knee up for that little balance for 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead, set it down next to the left. Let's fold it forward. All righty, here is a fabulous opportunity for us to take a little break for a beverage if you'd like a sip, or you can find that forward fold, just find that nice easy stretch if you don't have your beverage nearby or would prefer not to take a sip at this time. Whew. All right, we've got a little bit more work here coming at us today. So like I said, kind of slow and controlled, doesn't make it less challenging. We're still getting a lot of good work here, a lot of stability work, but also lots of good stretching. So we've got to hit that other side again. Meeting at the top of that mat. Go ahead and make your way into that forward fold when you get there. So feel free to take your breath if you'd like to fold it forward. Taking a moment here, just to take a second to analyze where your legs are at, where your knees are at. So maybe they're a little less bent than they were before. Maybe they're about where they were before. Either is fine. Let's take those 2 halfway lifts. Inhale, nice flat back, long spine. Exhale, folds it forward. One more time, just like that. Inhale, flat back, long spine. Exhale, folds it forward. All right, let's hit that other side. That left leg steps back nice and long. Heel stays off the floor. Taking it up right on down into that low lunge position. Top of the foot meets the mat. Spinal twist, here we go. Left hand down, right arm opens. Set that right arm down, hamstring stretch, hips back towards the heels. Lift those front toes, lengthen that right leg. Press it forward, same thing one more time. Left hand down, right arm up. Placing that right arm down, hips back towards the heels for that stretch. Press those hips forward. Fabulous. Let's find that tall torso from here. Sweep the arms up. Once again, if you'd like that extra little bit of challenge, you can curl that left toe under, find your balance, lift that knee. You can feel free to keep that knee down as well. From here, we're going to transition to that plank position. Fold it forward, plant those hands, step that right foot back to meet the left. High plank position. We're going to hold here and then press it up and back into that down dog in 3, 2, 1. Hips go up and back. Nice stretch through the back of those legs. Excellent. We've got our child's pose to cobra. Set those knees down, hips back towards the heels. Press the hips forward, cobra. Arms can be long, or elbows can still be bent. One more time each way. Press the hips back. Press it forward to cobra. Go ahead and bring it to that nice centered hands and knees position. Hips right over top of those knees. Adjust those hands. Same thing, you can find that just spinal twist with those knees down, or if you'd like that extra challenge, you can curl the toes under and float those knees. I'm going to keep my knees down this time. We've got our 2 spinal twists each arm. Our inhale takes that right arm up. Exhale brings it down and through. Same thing one more time. Inhale takes that right arm up, whether those knees are floating or down. Exhale takes it down and through. And then let's bring it back to center. Same thing on that other side. Again, knees up or knees down is fabulous. Left arm, inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. And exhale down. Fabulous. Go ahead and set that left hand next to the right, whether those knees are floating or not. We're going to step it back to that high plank position. Press those feet back. We're in that plank. We've got that side to side plank one side. Open up that arm. Set those heels down. Nice T. Go ahead, bring it down through center. Same thing, second side. Into that T. Go ahead, take it down. We're back in that centered plank. 4 mountain climbers, nice and slow. Knee between the elbows for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Press those hips up and back, downward facing dog. All right, let's this time take that right leg up and back, 3-legged dog. Bend the left knee, sweep the right leg forward, plant it down, ankle underneath that knee. When you find your balance, sweep those arms up, crescent. Excellent option for that balance, or you can always just step that foot next to the other, hinge forward at those hips. Left knee comes forward and either step the foot down or press that knee up into that balanced posture for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Step that foot down and go ahead, fold it forward. All right, we've got twice more through, once more on each side. Inhale, halfway lift, nice flat back, long spine. Exhale, fold it forward. One more time. Inhale, halfway lift. Fold it forward. Bend those knees, plant the hands, step that right foot back nice and long. Toe down, heel up, set that right knee down. Spinal twist. Right hand stays down, left arm opens up. Go ahead and set it on down. Set those hips back towards the heel, hamstring stretch. Left toes come up. And press them forward. One more time, spinal twist. Right hand down, left arm up. Set it down next to that foot. Set those hips back towards the heels. Hamstring stretch. Press it forward, low lunge, tall torso. Sweeps those arms up. Option for that floating knee, curl that toe under, lift it up. Finding our balance when we get there, finding that nice bend through that left knee. Whether that knee is up or down, we're going to transition to that high plank position. Folding it forward, plant those hands, left steps back to meet the right. We're in that plank. We're going to transition to our down dog in 3, 2, 1. Press those hips up and back. Child's pose to cobra. Go ahead and set those knees down. Set the hips back towards the heels. Press the hips forward, cobra. One more time each way. Hips back towards the heels. Hips forward into cobra. And go ahead, take it to hands and knees. Hips right over top of those knees. Elbows or shoulders right over top of those wrists. Again, knees can stay down or we can float for these spinal twists. Either option is fabulous. Either way, right arm inhales up. Exhales down. Inhales up. Exhales down. We're going to switch it up here. So go ahead and plant that right hand. We're switching over to that left side. Our inhale opens up. Exhales down. Same thing, one more. Inhale up. Exhale down. Place the left next to the right. Step it back to that high plank position. Plank position. Here we go. Side plank. Right arm lifts. Heels come down to the left. Open up into T. Exhale through center. Same thing, second side. Turn those heels over top. Open that opposite arm up. Go ahead and set it on down. We've got those 4 mountain climbers from that center plank. Here we go. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hips up and back, down dog. We're transferring forward. Left foot goes up and back, 3-legged dog. Bend the right knee, sweep the left leg forward. Crescent lunge from here, sweeps the arms up. Find your balance. Excellent. You can either step it forward into our mountain or into our balance. Hinge forward the hips, press off of that right leg. We're coming up. If you find that balance, we're here for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead, set that foot down, fold it forward, final time through. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back, long spine. Fold it forward. One more time, halfway lift. Fold it forward. Let's step that left foot back nice and long. Toe down, heel up, set that knee down, spinal twist. Left hand stays down, right arm opens up. Exhale, brings that right hand down, hips back towards the heels, hamstring stretch. One more time each direction, press it forward. Left hand stays down, spinal twist. Set that hand down, hips back towards the heels, hamstring stretch. Press it forward into that lunge. Option to stay here. We can bring it up to that tall torso. And if you'd like to, curl that left toe under, lift that knee, find that balanced posture. Fabulous. Whether knee up is or knee is up or knee is down, go ahead and fold it forward, plant those hands, step that right foot back to meet the left, high plank position. We're here for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hips up and back, down dog. Knees down to the mat, child's pose. Press the hips forward into cobra. One more time, hips back, child's pose. Press forward into cobra. From here, we've got those hands and knees. So hips come right over top of those knees. Wrists come right underneath those shoulders. 2 spinal twists, knees up or knees down. Inhale, right arm up. And bring it down and through, exhale. Inhale, right arm up. And down and through, exhale. Go ahead and plant that right hand underneath that right shoulder. Last time, same thing, left side. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Fabulous. Go ahead and place that left hand down. Step it to that high plank position. Right arm opens up nice and long, T. Down through center. Left arm opens up nice and long, T. Down to center. 4 mountain climbers. Here we go. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Fabulous work. Left leg up and back, right leg up and back, 3-legged dog. Then the left knee, sweep the right leg forward. Find your balance, sweep the arms up. Nice. Go ahead, hinge forward at those hips. Balanced or step to that mountain pose. Press off of the left leg, weight onto the right. If you find that balance, we're here for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Set that left foot down, just bring the arms down. All right, running out of time, so I just want to finish off with 2 nice deep breaths. Inhale, out and up. Exhale, down and around. Palms meet overhead. Inhale, out and up. Palms meet, pull them down to heart center. Thank you for being here today. Light me honors the light in you, bowing as we say, namaste. All right, guys, great work today. Thanks for being here.